The early days of the Jamaica Railway Company are shrouded in mystery, largely due to the scarcity of historical records. This lack of documentation is attributed to two primary factors: the frequent changes in ownership over the years and a devastating earthquake that struck Jamaica in 1907, destroying most of the existing records. Despite these challenges, it appears that the first phase of the railway line was proposed as early as 1843, coinciding with the railway mania phenomenon in the United Kingdom. During this period, numerous proposals for new railways were being presented to investors across Britain, including several ambitious schemes aimed at developing Jamaica's infrastructure. In 1843 alone, no fewer than 6 separate projects were floated, boasting a combined capital of £3,500,000 and covering an impressive total length of 300 miles. This staggering investment was part of the broader railway mania fervor that gripped Britain during this time period. Additionally, in early 1845, there emerged plans for another extensive railway project, the Jamaica Southern, Eastern, and Northern Railway. This proposed line would have connected Kingston to Montego Bay, although its exact route remains unknown today. The capital required for this ambitious scheme was estimated at a substantial £1,500,000. However, following stricter government oversight of colonial railways in late 1845, all these proposals were eventually abandoned, with the exception of the Jamaica Railway Company's project. Construction on the railway began in 1844 under the guidance of William Smith from Manchester, who had initially proposed the scheme in 1843. The prospectus for the company was issued later that year, calling for a capital investment of £1,500,000 through shares valued at £5 each. This initiative reflected the concerns and optimism of its promoters, the Smith brothers, regarding the potential economic and social impact on Jamaica's economy, particularly within the sugar industry. A revealing insight into these motivations can be gleaned from an excerpt of a letter written by David Smith to his brother William in June 1844.
St. Thomas in the Vale and Lewidasvale in St. John's. Hence we shall get the bulk of our produce are the most seasonable and most thickly populated districts in the island, and the facilities which will be afforded them by the establishment of the railway will enable them to keep up their cultivation when other less favoured districts may perhaps fail. I this morning had a long conversation with 2 of the most experienced planters in that quarter, and their opinions coincided with my own. They say that if I give them the railway and carry manure at a low price, they can double their crops.
In 1845, Lord Elgin, then governor of Jamaica, viewed the arrival of the railway as a solution to alleviate congestion on the heavily used road between Kingston and Spanish Town. His support for the project was also driven by his belief that it would enable planters to save labor and costs. Furthermore, he anticipated an improvement in the sugarcane industry due to the introduction of central sugar factories. Another argument put forth by Richard Hill, Secretary of the Stipendiary Magistracy, suggested that the railway could serve as a future aid for mountain settlement development. The proposal made by William Smith to construct Jamaica's first railway line was astute and forward-thinking. As pioneers in this endeavor, both William and his brother David played crucial roles. William Smith, a merchant involved in the West Indian trade with significant interests on the island, had ties to Manchester but owned land in Jamaica. His brother David resided as a planter on the island, ensuring that their shared interest lay in ventures affecting the sugar industry's fortunes. Despite having limited capital available, which was largely invested in the sugar industry, they were unable to secure sufficient funds within Jamaica. However, consistent canvassing efforts by local officials and British capitalists' willingness to invest ultimately led to securing financing, mainly from Liverpool and London. The plan proposed by William Smith for a double-track line between Kingston and Spanish Town received favorable reception at the House of Assembly in late 1843, ensuring official approval locally. The incorporation of the railway company took place in December 1843 as a direct result of these plans and proposals coming to fruition. Initially planned from Kingston through Spanish Town to Angels, a distance of approximately 14 miles, Construction began in September 1844, following royal assent being granted. This prompt start was indicative of success for this early railway venture. Jamaica's railway had the distinction not only of being constructed shortly after Britain's first public railway opened, but also gave Jamaica its place as a pioneer in colonial railway construction within British territories. The estimated cost of £150,000 proved far too low. Instead, it ended up costing around £222,250 by year-end. Operations commenced on November 21st, 1845, marking the beginning of what would become Britain's oldest colonial railway running, from Kingston to Angels, which lies approximately 2.5 miles beyond Spanish Town. The initial line was built and operated by the Jamaica Railway Company under William Smith and his brother David's promotion. The original survey, plans, and estimates for this line were prepared by James Anderson, a civil engineer from Edinburgh. From 1845 until 1865, David Smith served as manager of the railway line,